Ready? Good morning. We'll call to order the December 5th City of Hammond Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call. Here. Item 4, approval of the minutes of the meetings of November 14th and 21st.
Motion to defer.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item A, we have a bid opening for 2 blocks on Wabash Avenue. There's 9 bids.
First bid is from Grimmer Construction Company Incorporated, 2619 Main Street, Highland, Indiana. You have your Form 96 and your non-collusion affidavit signed. You have your bid bond. Their bid is $1,518,282.24. Next bid is from Reith Riley Construction Company Incorporated, 7500 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. You have your bid bond. You have your Form 96. I assume they have their non-collusion affidavit. It should be in there somewhere. We'll find it in the tabulation of the bids. Their bid is $1,527,910. Next bid is from GE Marshall Incorporated, 1351 Joliet Road, Valparaiso, Indiana. You have your Form 96. You have your non-collusion affidavit signed. They have their bid bond. Their bid is $1,565,490.83. Next bid is from Gatling Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, 1111 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. You have your bid bond. You have your Form 96. You have their non-inclusion affidavit. Their bid is $1,441,141. Next bid is from Hammond Construction Company Incorporated, Lincoln and Plummer Avenue, Calumet City, Illinois. You have your Form 96. You have your non-inclusion affidavit. And they have their bid bond. Their bid is $1,478,000. Next bid is from Gary Up Construction Company Incorporated, P.O. Box 64879, Gary, Indiana. You have your bid bond. You have your non-inclusion affidavit and their Form 96. Their bid is $1,747,000. Next bid is from Walsh and Kelly Incorporated, 1700 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. You have their bid bond, they have their non-inclusion affidavit, and they have their Form 96. Their bid is $1,423,364.09. Next bid is Rex Construction Company Incorporated, 700 Schiller Avenue, Cherville, Indiana.
Everything tabbed for you?
Yeah. But it makes it hard for Wayne to copy it. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit. Where's your bid price? Should be up here in front. It could be not filled out. I see the sheets, I don't see a total. Here they are. Yeah, but you get multiple sets. This one's got the totals on it. The bid is $1,523,677.59. And the final bid is from Goff, 2200 East 88th Drive, Maryville, Indiana. You have your bid bond. You have your non-inclusion affidavit. And they have their Form 96. And their bid is $1,571,605.09. I'd like to make a motion these be referred to the consultant engineer for tabulation and recommendation.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item B, we have responses from a request for qualifications for some bike trails. There are 4 responses.
Excuse me, Stan.
Yeah, we just need to read the names off because these go through,
Stan, is
There
there
should
one,
be-
is there one more?
There should be a bid from Dyer Construction.
Let's see if we got.
you think you got put in there maybe?
Did you bid on the Marquette Greenway?
No,
No,
it wouldn't be.
Wabash.
Yeah, this is in the wrong package. Let's go back. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the bid opening. We have a bid from Dyer Construction Company Incorporated, 1716 Sheffield Avenue, Dyer, Indiana. Yeah, write them in there. My fingers are still numb. I'm having trouble turning these pages. They have their non-inclusion affidavit, they have their Form 96, and they have their bid bond. And their bid is $1,470,652.02. That completes the bidding with 10 bids. I'd like to remake my motion to refer these to the consultant engineer for tabulation and recommendation.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item B, now we have our letter of interest and now we are reduced to 3
We have 3
letters.
letters of interest for engineering services for the Marquette Greenway. First one is from Nice Engineering Incorporated, 2421 173rd Street, Hammond, Indiana. The next one is from VS Engineering Incorporated, 4275 North High School Road, Indianapolis, Indiana. The final one is from SEH, 9200 Calumet Avenue, Suite N300, Munster, Indiana. These are non-competitively bid, but they are scored through the Federal Highway Program, and then a recommendation will be made. So I'd like to recommend they be referred to the engineering department.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item C, we have correspondence from Newell Concrete agreeing to extend their prices on concrete for sidewalks.
I'd like to recommend that we approve the extension of the agreement with Newell Concrete.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item D, we have correspondence from AT&T requesting to perform work at Sheffield 990.
What are they doing there? I'd like to make a motion that we approve their digging request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item E, we have road plans for reconstruction of the north end of Indianapolis Boulevard submitted for approval.
Yeah, it's a joint project with the City of Whiting and the Indiana Department of Transportation. I'd like to make a motion that we sign the cover sheet. Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item F, we have a bid award recommendation from Mr. Callahan recommending that several properties be granted to the low bidder of JM Industrial Services. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item G, we have a request for advertising dates of December 26th and January 2nd for the demolition of several properties. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item H, we have a request from Hammond PD to dispose of several junk vehicles. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item I, we have a hearing on the property located at 714 Sibley. Any interested parties, please come forward.
Good morning, James Driscoll, and attorney for Thomas Ogrodowski, the owner of 714 Sibley. This is Mr. Ogrodowski here along with me.
Building department ready to proceed? Is the building department ready to proceed?
They're going to change their mind right now, I think. I talked to Kelly. It's not been. This is your reason, you're right, I think, because he's telling Kelly to give in.
Kind of a confusing situation, Mr. President. There's differences in opinion as far as there's a permit to add an additional apartment. This is actually 40 at one point. On our inspection, the basement apartment had been, not basically removed, but obviously was taken apart, not able to be occupied. That left a third apartment on the second floor, basically a studio apartment behind the first apartment on the second floor. Separated at that time only by the door. There is a permit to remodel and add a apartment. Date 1951.
1951?
So even at that point, the only thing that was separating these two apartments was the door. Certainly when that fire code in 1951. I would actually like a little more time to delve a little further into this as far as plumbing, electrical permits, and sewer access. Hard for me to believe that any inspector or permit home in 1951 would say that that apartment would meet code when it was only separated by a wood door. So I'd like to get into the electrical and plumbing and see if there's any permission at that point to create a kitchen and the additional bath. This is, the problem with this is our building permits are on a spreadsheet. Okay, we've had those outsourced for on a spreadsheet. Plumbing and electrical permits are literally have to come through one at a time.
How long do you need?
Do it as soon as possible or after the holiday. Kind of at your mercy at this point, or something else. Again, some of you are already active on two other properties that you've got agreements on, and other than a little wording already to sign. I don't want to inconvenience somebody more at the same time, I've got additional time to research our plumbing permits.
Well, you know, I'm ready to proceed. This has been going on a year. We've been trying to work out an agreement and see, you know, even though our position is this third apartment was added with a permit legally in 1951, that this is a legal non-conforming use now, it's grandfathered in. You know, we've been trying to work out, you know, so well, what do you want us to do? We want to keep it a 3-unit. And the city's position, the building department's position has always been, nope, got to go to a 2-unit, has to go to a 2-unit. We just yesterday finally found evidence that what I was told was, no, our position is this was built as a single-family home, which is just logically, it doesn't make sense. This is a big brick 2-story apartment building, like all its neighbors. And so just yesterday, we get evidence from a 1919 directory that this was indeed a 2-unit in 1919. As soon as the notice of violation was received, my client has a building permit here. He added fire separation between the 2 units, which, again, it was a legal apartment added in 1951. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to do anything else. I object to continuance. This is a legal 3-unit. It's a safe 3-unit, and we want that to be in order.
Do you have a copy of the permit from 51?
So, Kelly, just to elaborate, are you in agreement that it appears, or do you believe this was a 2-unit or a 3-unit as it was
I
built?
believe it was a 2-unit.
Okay.
And when the single family came in, we don't have a permit from 1991 when it was originally built, so was it a single family home, was it a 2-unit?
Okay. So your contention isn't as to whether or not this is a legal 3-unit building, it's whether or not the plumbing is satisfactory and electrical is satisfactory?
And yes, it has been going on for a year. That wasn't by our choice. It was working on agreements with them. And now I come here asking for another week or 2 to delve a little further, make sure that if I can't find a permit, if I can find a permit that says that plumbing was put in there, plumbing was put in there with a permit or whatever, I can see. Okay, if I can't find that permit, I'm gonna take a stand that it needs to be back to the safe 2-unit. So
But
asking.
our hearing today is whether or not this is a conforming and legal 3-unit, and whether or not this building was built to be a 3-unit. If it has other code violations, if the roof is falling off, that's going to be a separate issue for us.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. My point this time is, this is going to continue time and again, not by us. Mr. Driscoll mentioned this fine. I'm asking for an additional week and it's going to, not allow that.
In order to have it pass, this code in order to be,
I think you try to work
after the permit was
as
issued.
quickly as possible. Rarely do we come up and ask for continuance on something that, I'm asking continuance to either solidify my point that it is a 2-unit, or it should be a 2-unit, or that it is a 3-unit at some point in the permit.
Then you're telling me you're not in agreement that it's...
I believe it should be a 2-unit.
Okay.
If I may approach, I've got a exhibit. One thing I'd like to address is Mr. Kearney, I believe, just said that if he can find plumbing or electrical permits to show that it was, they were issued at the time that he'd agree. I think everyone in this room knows the deficiency of the existence of the permits. So if he's saying, well, if they don't exist, they must not have ever been issued, and that's a problem for me.
Legally inspected when the permit was taken out. There also has to be a final inspection.
No, we don't have enough information to make a decision today.
I agree, it's been going on a year too long. Can you give us another 7 days by next Thursday if Kelly can find all the stuff that he needs to find out?
You're gonna find it.
Well, my problem is that, right, what's he going to find? It doesn't exist. I mean, the permits don't exist. I mean, we got a permit in 1950. I mean, any of these I handle, I try and work them out. In fact, this is the first time I've ever actually had a hearing before the board because I explained to my clients the problems here. And this is the first time. I'm always told, if there's a permit issued, you're okay. And there's no permits. We're always behind the 8 ball because these permits just don't exist anymore. Here's one, we've got a permit. We've got a 2-unit, we've got evidence this was a 2-unit before 1951. We've got a permit issued in 1951 to add the 3rd apartment. That permit is there's gonna be an inspection. I mean, we all know that. I mean, I don't see what's even at issue here.
I find it hard to come up here. As Mr. Driscoll has said, we've worked with him in many other cases, and I want to make sure that I'm on solid ground. If I'm going to, this would allow me a 3 unit or 2 unit. All the time this has been continued, 714 was never an issue. It was agreements on 12 Lawndale and 268, 169th Street, which we work with them, as we do all clients and attorneys, to come to the best conclusion, the safest conclusion for people that are dealing with that. And that's where I'm at for now. Come up here and ask for a week continuance, and for that to be contested, kind of one-sided.
Well, the reason that I object is because he's asking to find things. I mean, what he's asking is, I want to make sure I'm solid ground. If he finds things, he's okay. Well, what happens when he doesn't find things? Then we're back here a week from now, costing my client more in legal fees to argue these same things.
Small price to pay for someone's life. God forbid this fire in this situation. I'm going to make sure that this property is going to be safe. Whoever's going to be staying there, period.
Well, right now we're arguing that regardless of whether or not he finds those, so if he finds them, then he's going to give in. If he doesn't find them, then you have to make the same decision I'm asking you to make right now.
And that will include conversations with
Permits were taken out.
Jim Callahan, the Chief of Inspections, and Chris Cantor, City Attorney.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you give the building department and Mr. Driscoll 1 week to submit any additional information to the board they deem pertinent to us making our decision, take it under advisement, and issue a ruling in 30 days.
I make a motion that you guys need to find, Kelly, find all the information you can.
Would you like me to reiterate that?
Yeah, go ahead.
If it pleases the board, why don't you allow both parties to submit any more pertinent information they feel germane to this case to the board within the next 7 days, take that under advisement, and then issue a ruling to both parties within 30 days.
So, Mr. President, just to clarify, you will not be setting another hearing date. You're just going to take it under advisement, and if anybody should find anything that is
That's correct.
groundbreaking on this, then they should just submit it to the board and the other side.
That's correct. Should Mr. Kearney find plumbing permits, we'll share those with Mr. Driscoll. Should Mr. Driscoll find
Can I give these to them?
electrical permits, we'll share them with Mr. Kearney.
If I may approach, I will give you copies of the permit that was issued with the fire separation. That's between the 2 second-floor units. I'm sorry, Kelly, I just had one copy. Library.
Everybody has for a couple sheets of fabric drywall. Where the door was, it was separated from the studio apartment and the front apartment on the second floor, which is what I said all along. If there was an inspector, there's a permit for that, if some inspector inspected that, and allowed that fire separation, that's an issue for the inspector that okayed it. That's my contention, too. That permit actually should have been issued before we ever brought the case in front of the Board of Works. Mr. Brodowski was aware of the situations and concerns I had at the time. I assured him went through the time of the inspection.
My position is, if their position is it wasn't inspected, I mean, they've got to produce some evidence other than we don't think it was inspected in 1951.
It was a legal permit taken out.
Is there a motion by the board?
If I may interject one more thing. What Mr. Kearney's asking for is simply time to find things that help us. That's all he's asking for. He wants to find out if there are permits for plumbing or electrical. If he does, that helps us.
So I don't see the issue with the problem continues.
Because we're prepared right now to ask for a decision.
And I've been prepared on this property since the day we introduced it to have a decision on this. It was continued because of 12 Mondale, 268, 169th Street.
If I may interject,
For a year was not because I wasn't ready to prepare for my decision on 714. That was one that was being kicked around because of the other properties.
Those two properties are not Mr. Ogrodowski's.
Ogrodowski's cooperation in other properties.
They're not his. Kelly, they're not his.
Both parties
No,
seem to be ready.
different client. Yeah.
You know, together.
Yeah, no.
But at the same time,
They aren't ready.
They both just said they're both ready for us to decide whether this is 2 or 3 units today.
You are ready?
no, I'd like to, another week to get into the plumbing and electrical permits from 1951 and see if there was ever any issue too. If there was another apartment created, you can't just put up a wall or a door, in this case, nail the door shut and say there's an apartment. There had to be some kind of plumbing issue.
That's not relevant. We have a building permit issued.
You have building permit, you have plumbing permit, you have electrical permit.
But we have a building permit.
You shall meet, you have plumbing inspector.
In 1951, did you do plumbing and electrical separate?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I don't see where waiting one more week is gonna hurt anything. Especially if you guys could work something out and come back with a recommendation. You don't even have to come back here.
And I also need to confer with the city attorney, Mr. Callahan and Mr. Cook.
Let me ask this. Kelly, you said that in order for this to be a conforming 3-unit, we need a building permit, an electrical, and a plumbing permit.
Correct.
So what happens if we find a plumbing permit?
For a third unit,
Mm-hmm.
I can see.
So we don't need an electrical permit.
Yes, you won't.
But I just asked, if you find a plumbing permit, you said you'll concede. So what happens if we find an electrical permit?
What happens if we don't? I'm still at the same.
That's
point.
what I'm asking.
Well, I have concerns about the electrical, absolutely. If we have a building permit in 1951, we have a plumbing permit in 1951, and I can't find an electrical permit, it's still an assumption that contractors pulled in to do the work. And that, I would hope, quite honestly, you're probably not gonna find an electrical permit because it's all 1 unit at one time anyway. By their own admission, it was a 2-unit. So you put up a wall, create a third apartment, put in plumbing, wouldn't necessarily need, you certainly would need electrical separation, but it probably wasn't done.
Mr. President, the problem being, we can only go by what we have. And the fact, if nothing is found, that doesn't mean nothing exists, it just means nothing was recorded. There was a building permit, perhaps in 1951, nobody was here except maybe Stan. They just did it all under one permit and listed everything under one permit. Maybe they didn't have it broken into 3 different permits. So I think taking it under advisement would be advisable. We don't need another hearing. If anybody finds anything that would be, smoking gun, then they can submit it to the other party and to the board, and the board can take that into consideration. But right now, the options we face is he finds a permit, which proves it's a 3-unit legally, which doesn't change the board's decision, or he finds nothing, which is no evidence of anything, which doesn't change the board's opinion, and you're still going to go on the evidence that you've been presented.
That was my idea, fella. I'm just.
Bobby,
Go ahead.
can I say something?
Mr. Callahan wants to say something.
I run permits every day, dating back to whenever they're built. I've never found a permit that stated that adding a wall and a door makes a unit an apartment. It'll say garage with upstairs apartment, but it will not say, this is the one.
The amount of residents that have an apartment.
That's what you're talking about, 51.
We don't want to make it a hasty decision. There's people applying for this.
What I'm saying, yeah. It's not a residence.
Where's the apartment at? In the residence or in the apartment garage?
I want to see if there's a plumbing permit for additional apartment. You could, there may not be an electrical permit because,
Well, I'd ask that Mr. Callahan finish his thought.
Pardon me?
I'd ask that you finish your thought, your statement. Well, you were saying you run permits. You said you were running permits every day, and they would say to add an apartment, correct?
If there's an apartment added to a residence, it will state in the building permit that there's an apartment.
And which
what it
this
says.
one does state, correct?
Well, here it says remodel residence, add one apartment. Was this apartment added to the residence or was it added to the garage?
There is no apartment to garage. That was added to the residence. That states exactly what you'd expect it to state, does it not?
That, from what I see here, appears to be remodel residence and add one apartment.
Which is what it should state, correct? If there was a legally added apartment?
I'm going to say yes without researching it myself, but from what I see here, that's what it looks like.
I'd like to make a motion that we take it under advisement, and we will render a decision within 30 days, and if you guys find anything between the two of you, take it to each other.
I have no objection to that.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
You want your stuff back?
No, I mean, if you have a file, just keep it in there.
Jamie, you want to take 12 Lawndale and 268 together?
I do, Tom, we're done. We may want to, we have an agreement signed by my client. I had not gotten approval from Kurt, but I do have it now. It needs Attorney Cantor's signature. So I don't know if we want to recall it or if Kurt just wants to confirm to Attorney Cantor that it's appropriate for signature. We can submit that.
Okay. Is there a
Both
motion?
for that's for both
Is
properties.
there a motion to approve the agreed orders at 12 Lawndale and 268 169th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
I'll sign and submit them before I leave.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Driscoll.
interconnected on that.
Item J, notice of violation at 1011 Myrtle. Item K, we have a rental registration hearing on several properties. Ms. Levander? You don't look like Edna May.
No, I've taken over as power of attorney. I've taken over as power of attorney for Edwin and Edna May Levander. My name's Doug Levander. This started beginning of November, and I've hit the road running. These permits are not permits, but these registrations are one issue that I need to cover. I realize that there's some fees in order and possibly some fines. All I can say is that dementia's taken my parents. They haven't kept us informed about what they're doing, and you know, I'm here to clean up the mess. Ask for some leniency on the fines, and I'd like to make good.
How many years have they owned all these properties?
Pardon?
How many years have they owned all of these properties?
Oh, 30 years, 20, I'll say 20 years in Hammond. It's been more.
Kelly, have they always,
There's a couple questions actually. Is my understanding you live in New Jersey? Are you local?
No,
You live in-
I'm local, I live in Highland. That was James Crosby, one of the other kids.
Okay.
I'm the one that's actually taken over. I have power of attorney papers and disability letters.
is there a for the last,
Well, there was an issue in 2011 where they weren't registered. There was a fine levied, and then they were registered in 2012. But they did register in 2013.
I mean, for the last 30, whatever years?
I didn't go that far back over to the point of 2011 where they were late registering there. They were cited. They came in. The board said 4 units. I think there was 1 late fee.
Mr. Levander, your parents managed these properties up until recently?
I'm sorry, my hearing.
Your parents managed these properties up until recently?
Yes, my dementia and Alzheimer's took my dad several years ago, and Jerry
And these are all single-family homes? These are all single-family homes? One unit in each address, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 addresses?
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the late fee, but you need to register all 9 units within 30 days, right, Bob?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Register all units, that acknowledging that the late fee is going to be applied. Okay. Give us the contact information. Acknowledging that.
So that's all you need, and
And then registration forms, insurance information, and okay. If you wait till after the meeting, I'll get you paperwork. Little, make a copy of the paperwork.
I can give you the power and that sort of thing. As far as the forms, it's gonna probably take a couple of days to compile.
If you want, they can mail it to you, and you can go from there, and you can get the forms online.
Great, or if I can pick them up somewhere.
And we can do that. If you wait till after the meeting, we'll take care of it then.
Item L, we have correspondence from Attorney Matthews regarding 142 Wabash. It appears he's Rimbach, entering his notice to request a hearing in order to preserve his rights if necessary. Do we need to set a hearing date for this, Chris? Or do we just need to note it for the record?
Well, Mr. President, Justin Murphy has entered his appearance on behalf of the tenants, and we're going to try to sit down and work something out. If you want to, I don't think we need to set a date at this point in time, just make a note in the record that within the 10 days required, he did request an appeal.
Very good. Item M, we have several orders related to the properties from 1717 to 1723 Summer and 620 Hump Road. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item N, we have Mr. Mayorga requesting rental registration hearing at 249 Carroll.
Mr. President, I spoke to him before the meeting. He needs an interpreter, so I'd like to move it for next Thursday, the 12th.
Next week.
So next Thursday, come back and we'll have someone here.
Same time?
Same time, 9 o'clock.
Item O, we have correspondence requesting rental registration hearings. Do we have a date, Mr. Smith?
How far would you like to go?
2 weeks.
December 19th?
12/19. Oh, they're actually asking specifically after 24th of December. How about first week of January? Are we back on the 2nd? January 2nd.
January 2nd.
Item P, we have findings of fact and decision on 423 Lewis. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item Q, we have an amendment to the healthcare policy and plans for the city of Hammond. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
What's the impact?
The impact is on locations where dialysis can be utilized. Correct.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item R, we have an amusement device listing. Is there a motion to enter into the record the amusement devices?
I'll make such a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there matters from other board members?
Yes, I have two matters. First, I have a request from Councilman Higgs concerning the 600 block of Highland. He said the street curves, the residents in the area are concerned about safety. He's requesting a guardrail or barrier to be placed along the curvature of the street. I'd like to make a motion this be referred to the street department and engineering to review the appropriateness of that change.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Second item I have is a disciplinary action that we probably shouldn't read, we just need to approve, so let everybody look at it.
And we have to send a letter.
Pardon?
We have to send a letter.
There's been a request by the Hammond Police Department to suspend an officer without pay for 5 days, 15 days. Is there a motion to approve and notice the officer of our decision? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Mr. President, since it's more than 5 days, we have to send him the letter offering him the hearing.
Very good.
So you want to modify the motion?
Please.
I'll modify the motion to send a letter notifying him of his opportunity for a hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Any other matters from board members? Is there any matters from department heads?
Mr. President, we have the settlement agreements that was referenced in item I, and I think there has to be one tiny change made, and then other than that, we're ready to present them.
Since we've approved them already,
But there was a change?
is there a motion to approve the amended agreements at 12 Lawndale and 268, 169?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
There's one more matter with the 268 169th Street. As part of the agreement, the city is, let me back up. This is a 4-unit that my client has agreed to convert to a 2-unit. And the terms of that conversion are contained in the settlement agreement. As part of the settlement agreement, the city has agreed to support the waiving of 2 of the 4 rental registrations, as he's going to incur significant costs. It will start the year as a 4-unit, but it will finish the year as a 2-unit. So I'm just asking the board to consider waiving 2 of the 4 required rental registrations for 268 169th Street.
Is there a motion to waive the requirement to register 2 of the units that are going to be removed at 268 169th?
So, second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
If I may approach, I'll
Is there any other matters from department heads? Is there any new or old business? Board would like to recognize Councilwoman at Large Janet Venez. Thank you for attending our meetings, Councilwoman. Public expression. The meeting is now open to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address the board, now is your opportunity to do so.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?